take your seats. Call the meeting to order. Would the clerk please call the roll? Councilor Greenwald.
Kate M. Bosley.
Here.
Laura E. Tobin.
Here.
Michael J. Remy.
Here.
Randy L. Filio.
Here.
Robert C. Williams. Robert C. Williams.
Are you here? Healer.
Edward J. Haas.
Here.
Philip M. Jones.
Present.
Andrew M. Madison.
Here.
Chris E. Roberts.
Here.
Raleigh C. Omerad.
Here.
Brian J. Lake.
Here.
Catherine I. Workman.
Here.
Bettina A. Chadbourne.
Here.
Thomas F. Powers.
Here.
Mitchell H. Greenwald.
Thank you. Would Councilor Bosley, would you please lead us in a pledge of allegiance? We've already done that tonight. Do we need to do that again? Thank you.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilors, in memory of Jim Masiello, who passed away a week ago, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence. Thank you very much. We now have a motion for approval of the minutes. Councilor Powers.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to adopt December 21st, 2023 meeting minutes.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Bosley. Any comments on the minutes? All those in favor of the minutes, please say aye. Thank you very much. Announcements. On Tuesday, January 9th at 6 p.m. is a workshop on Right to Know. It will be held in council chambers, and near the end of the workshop, I want to take that opportunity to inquire of you and perhaps offer to you some potential changes or at least topics related to the rules of order. So if there are additional topics that you would like for us to discuss at some future date, if you could let me know in advance, and then we'll try to at least tee them up during that workshop session. On January 20th, Saturday, starting at 8 a.m., there's a workshop on the 2025 through 2031 Capital Improvements Program. The workshop should be concluded by 11 a.m., and that will be a review of the Capital Improvement Program. That actual review will take place with the Finance Organization and Personnel Committee at their January 25th meeting, which will start at 5:30. Note for your calendar. A full schedule has been placed on your desks. Okay. Moving on to public hearing on a community development block grant. Before opening the public hearing on the community development block grant application, I'd like to go over the process that we will be following this evening. The Community Development Finance Authority has very specific protocols on how these public meetings are handled, and so I'm going to read this and get it all right. The hearing notice identifies 3 separate components. The actual application includes the, okay, so it includes 1, the actual CDBG application, 2, the Residential Anti-Displacement and Relocation Assistance Plan, and 3rd, the Housing and Community Development Plan. I will be opening and closing each of these segments separately, and upon the closing of the final hearing, I will call forward Resolution R 2024-03, which is further on in tonight's agenda. Finally, as the application is time sensitive, I'll be looking for a suspension of the rules to allow action upon this resolution. Would the clerk please read the public hearing notice?
3 public hearings regarding a proposed application to the New Hampshire Community Development Finance Authority for federal community development block grant funds will be held at Keene City Hall on the date and time noted in the hearing notice. CDBG funds are awarded on a competitive basis in New Hampshire and may be used for projects which have primary benefit for low and moderate income persons. The City of Keene is eligible to apply for $500,000 per program year in each of the following categories: housing, public facilities, and economic development, as well as $750,000 for micro-enterprise technical assistance. Communities may also apply for up to $25,000 for feasibility studies and $500,000 for CDBG emergency grants annually. A public hearing has been scheduled to provide specific information regarding grant requirements and to provide information about the proposed CDBG application to be considered by the council. The proposal to be considered is a grant application for CDBG funds to support water infrastructure improvements for the Base Hill Cooperative Manufactured Housing Park. The project would replace the water distribution system that serves roughly 150 cooperative residents and is beyond its useful life. The current system was constructed in 1965 and now experiences regular leaks and failures that require emergency repairs. Work will include replacement of the entire water distribution system within the cooperative, including all water mains, valves, appurtenances, and service lines. In conjunction with the application hearing, 2 additional public hearings will be held. The city's residential anti-displacement and relocation assistance plan specific to the project, and the city's updated housing and community development plan for CDBG projects.
Thank you. I'd like to recognize Jack Ahern to address the grant application.
Thank you, Mayor Kahn. My name is Jack Ahern. I am an associate planner at Southwest Regional Planning Commission. I'll start by providing a brief overview of the Community Development Block Grant Program.
Excuse me, Jack, I just want to make sure the mic is on? Yeah. Good. People can hear? Good. Thank you.
I'll start by providing a brief overview of the Community Development Block Grant Program, and then I will tell you about this particular application. CDBG funds are available to municipalities for economic development, public facility, and housing rehabilitation projects that primarily benefit low and moderate income persons. The City of Keene is eligible to receive up to $500,000 a year for public facility and housing rehabilitation, up to $500,000 a year for economic development, up to $750,000 for micro-enterprise technical assistance, and up to $500,000 in emergency funds. Feasibility study funds are available for up to $25,000. I've provided a handout describing the New Hampshire Community Development Block Grant eligible activities that include the area HUD income limits. The proposed application to the Community Development Finance Authority, CDFA, is for up to $500,000 to allow the Base Hill Cooperative resident-owned community to replace its water distribution system at 180 Base Hill Road, Keene, New Hampshire. The manufactured housing park on Base Hill Road, owned by Base Hill Cooperative Incorporated, is supplied drinking water by the Keene Water Department from the city of Keene, New Hampshire. Water is delivered to the cooperative and metered by the city via a meter near the property line adjacent to Base Hill Road. The cooperative owns the drinking water distribution system after the city meter and is responsible for its operation and maintenance. The system consists of distribution mains and valves that are beyond their expected useful life and in poor condition. The cooperative has done a good job of making necessary repairs, but frequent leaks and failures persist. The system supplies approximately 5,000 gallons a day to a population of roughly 150 people at 51 individual homes. There are no commercial or industrial water uses within the cooperative, and the system does not include treatment or storage. The system is in need of complete replacement. The water system improvements include a new connection to the master municipal metering pit, a new primary service distribution manhole, replacement of all water mains within the cooperative, installation of isolation valves and flushing hydrants, and replacement of all unit service lines to the unit connection. Improvements also include an additional section of water main to provide redundancy of service to the rear units of the park, installation of an insulated meter pit, installation of water meters for all units, and provision of an electronic meter reader and accessories. Site restoration, pavement trenching, and replacement and erosion controls are also included. I am hopefully here with a representative of Base Hill community today.
Yes.
If you'd like to provide some additional details about the project.
Please. Mr. Bush?
Yes, I'm Mr. Bush. How are you today?
I guess I'm having a pretty good day.
Sorry, I just came from a basketball game, so I'm kind of dressed that way. We've been working for the last 4 or 5 years desperately to try to work on getting our water system redone. And we've been able to work with Eric Toledo, who is another representative that's helped us, and the park. And we've been able to get a grant for $1 million to get it started. And then when we got the $1 million grant from the state, what happened was the prices in the last 2 years have gone up so much that now the project is almost $1.7 million. So, you know, we went into the portion of how we can get a loan, and then we went into the portion of we need the CDBG grant as a gap, you know, a gap fund to help us get over the top so that we can complete this project. And, you know, we've been working and battling with the water, and I don't know if there's any representative here from the city, but they'll, you know, the water systems, but they'll know, they've cooperated with us very well, but we have had a lot of leaks and a lot of problems. I mean, I think probably somewhere in the area of $60,000 to $70,000 worth of repairs in just the last 2 years alone. And, you know, we are a low-income area, and we, most of our, you know, we've got a lot of elderly, we've got a lot of senior citizens, we've got some younger couples, young kids. You know, we've got a great community. I can't tell you, I could sit here and tell you all about how great I love my community. I really could, but the problem we're having is that, you know, we only have so much fund. And, you know, rent is high enough as it is now, and so we're doing our very best to keep rent down. We've added as many homes as we possibly can, so we've got one more that we can add, and then we've maxed out of our expansion. And we've been able to work on that expansion for the last, I mean, I've been doing it almost 8 years now, and trying to keep everything under control there. And I think, you know, we've done a good job of being a good community, and we just need the help. We need help to move forward so that we can better our community, which in overall is going to make it better for the city of Keene. You know, that's basically where we're at.
Thank you very much. I'd like to, I think at this point, we can thank you and I don't think are there any questions at this point? I'd like to open the floor to anybody from the public who has comments or questions about this proposed CDBG project. It's okay. If we don't have those, this is something that we do normally, so. Is support other groups who have needs, fit the criteria for the grants, and, okay, thank you. Seeing that there's no other public comment at this point, I want to close the public hearing on the proposed CDBG grant application. And I will now open the second public hearing for discussion of the residential anti-displacement and relocation assistance plan. And turn this back over to Mr. Ahern.
Thank you. If any displacement takes place as a result of the proposed CDBG project, the Uniform Relocation Act must be followed, which requires that any displaced household or business in a project using federal funds must be found comparable housing or commercial space in a comparable neighborhood at a comparable price. Under the certification section of the application, the city will certify that the Residential Anti-Displacement and Relocation Assistance, RARA plan is in place, and in the event that it is discovered that this specific project does not displace persons or households, a displacement implementation plan must be submitted to CDFA prior to obligating or expending funds. Because of the nature of the proposed project, it is unlikely that any sort of relocation will be necessary. However, CDFA requirements still mandate that the City of Keene certifies that it will require the subrecipient to comply with the Uniform Relocation Act and Section 104D of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahern. I'd like to now open the floor to public comment and questions about the Housing and Community Development Grant, and in particular, the this relocation assistance plan. Seeing no comment, we'll close that second hearing, and we'll open a third hearing for discussion of the city's housing and community development plan. And again, Mr. Ahern, would you please address the development plan?
The Housing and Community Development Plan, HCDP, is a document composed of several key areas, those being housing, economic development, health and human services, and CDBG impact area. Each section details the current conditions and proposed actions that would help alleviate need in the area in relation to CDBG funds. This document was last adopted in 2021, with the minimum adoption schedule being once every 3 years. No substantial changes to the plan have been made at this time. The proposed project meets the listed HCDP goal to have a variety of housing options available that are affordable, accessible, eco-efficient, and supportive of varied lifestyles.
Thank you. I now open the floor to public comment and questions about the Housing and Community Development Plan. If there are no questions, and Mr. Ahern, if I can address just one question to you.
Yes.
This plan is derived from our existing plans and does not go beyond that. That's correct?
Yes, it is a city plan that,
Thank you. Okay,
thank you.
no public comment at this time. We can now close the third hearing. I just want to seek your guidance here. We've closed the hearing. We'll take up the resolution
Yes, right?
further down the agenda.
No, bring it forward.
Let's bring it forward now. I'd like to then call upon Councilor Powers for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. To suspend the rules of the City Council, I'd move to suspend Section 27 for the Rules of Order to allow discussion and a vote on this evening's presentation before us.
Second.
Thank you. Moved by Councilor Powers, seconded by Counselor Bosley. This will require a 2/3 vote. Any discussion from the council on the proposed resolution? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll? This will take a 2/3 vote.
Counselor Bosley?
Yes.
Counselor Tobin?
Yes.
Counselor Remy?
Yes.
Counselor Filio?
Yes.
Counselor Williams?
Yes.
Counselor Haas?
Yes.
Counselor Jones?
Yes.
Counselor Madison?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Ormerod?
Yes.
Counselor Lake?
Yes.
Counselor Workman?
Yes.
Counselor Chadbourne?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Greenwald?
Yes.
Okay, now regarding the, that was our motion on suspension of the rules. Counselor Powers, would you please bring forward the motion?
Thank you, Your
On the
Honor.
resolution itself.
I move for the adoption of Resolution 2024-03.
Counselor Remy?
Second.
Thank you very much. Moved by Counselor Powers, seconded by Counselor Remy. Any questions, comments on the proposed resolution? Counselor Roberts, please.
Yes, Your Honor, I wholeheartedly support this. These individuals came to us about 10 years ago because they were losing a lot of water and they had a lot of discontent from the bill that the city was giving them. And so we worked with them and we found out there was a numerous leaks. About 10 years ago, Base Hill Hall was a pretty run-down place, had a lot of empty places, a lot of trailers. They were really fire hazards and should have been gone. So the community that came in, they've been working, they've been busting their hump, they've been upgrading the area, and now it's something that, as you heard, it's something to be proud about, and they've grown, and they've created access for more people to have secure housing. And so if there's anything that I would say in the past, these people did their job, they did their work, they did their homework, and we should reward them with a unanimous vote.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Madison?
Thank you, Your Honor. Before I started responding to oil spills and running around the state and bringing back my great stories for you guys, I worked for an organization called Rural Water up in Walpole, and in that I helped communities that are a lot like Base Hill Co-op. What a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of these mobile home communities often provide their own water utility services to their residents. Unfortunately, a side effect of that is you only have so many residents who are often on a fixed income. They may be elderly or low income, and that kind of drives up the cost that these people then have to pay to maintain their utilities. So CDBG grants like this really help bring that down to a more affordable level for them so that they can have the same quality of service that people who live in larger communities can enjoy while still enjoying the benefits of having more affordable housing in a manufactured home park. So when you think about it, these folks really are a solution to the housing crisis we're facing. And grants like this are kind of helping to keep them in business, keep that park running, and help those on a fixed income, those who are low income in our community, afford to keep a place of their own. Thanks.
Thank you, Counselor. Further comments? Seeing none?
It's a show.
It's a show of hands for a majority vote on this motion. All those in favor, please raise your hand. It looks unanimous. You got your unanimous vote. Congratulations. We now come to appointments, nominations.
This evening, we are confirming the former mayor nomination, Mayor Hansel's nomination of a Cody Morrison to the Keene Housing Authority. This would be for an unexpired term that would expire December 31, 2025.
Counselor Greenaway for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to confirm the nomination.
Thank you. Thank you. Comments? All those in favor of the nomination as presented? Thank you.
I'm sorry, roll call.
Sorry.
The
this is
confirmation's a roll call.
Oh, thank you.
Counselor Bosley?
Yes.
Counselor Tobin?
Yes.
Counselor Remy?
Yes.
Counselor Filio?
Yes.
Counselor Williams?
Yes.
Counselor Haas?
Yes.
Counselor Jones?
Yes.
Counselor Madison?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Omeriad?
Yes.
Counselor Lake?
Yes.
Counselor Workman?
Yes.
Counselor Chadbourne?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Greenwald?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously, yes?
Yes.
You have in your packet group of nominations, a memo from me, item 2B, B2, excuse me. Please note those.
Would you like me to read them into the record?
Certainly.
To the Ashwillet River Park Advisory Board, Dana Matthews. These are renominations. These are current members who are eligible either for a second term or they've maxed out on their term and they're going to an alternate position. So again, Diane Matthews, Ashwillet River Park Advisory Board, December 31, 2026 is the expiration date. To the Assessors Board, Jason Frost, December 31, 2026. To the Bicycle Pedestrian Path Advisory Board, a new member, our Edward Haas, December 31, 2026. To Building Board of Appeals, Donald Flibbit, December 31, 2026. To the Congregate Living and Social Services Licensing Board, Thomas Savastano and Jennifer Sayer, both with December 31, 2026. And Medard Kabinski as an ex officio member, December 31, 2025. To the Conservation Commission, Robert Williams, again, ex officio, December 31, 2025. Eloise Clark has been a long-term member and has maxed out and is now wishing to become an alternate member. That would be a term of December 31, 2026. And John Therio, a current alternate wishing to have a second term, December 31, 2026. To the Energy and Climate Committee, Counselor Omeriad is the ex officio, December 31, 2025. Jude Nehru as a renomination, December 31, 2026. And Charles Redfern, a current alternate, wanting a second term, December 31, 2026. To the Historic District Commission, Hope Bennick, December 31, 2026. Russ Fleming, going from a regular to an alternate and then taking an unexpired term, December 31, 2024. To the Housing Standards Board of Appeal, Donald Flibbit, December 31, 2026. To the Human Rights Committee, both Hunter Kirschner and Daniel Orenson, December 31, 2026. Marty Fisk as an ex officio member, December 31, 2025. And Ritu Bodokiti, alternate renomination, December 31, 2026. To the Partner City Committee, Mary Bruner, December 31, 2026. Councilor Madison, ex officio, December 31, 2025. Michael Giacomo, December 31, 2024. To the Planning Board, ex officio, Michael Remy, December 31, 2025. Roberta Mastrovigiani, renomination, December 31, 2026. Gail Summers, she's currently an alternate, seeking another nomination, December 31, 2026. Tammy Adams, same situation. She's been an alternate for many years, seeking another term, December 31, 2026. And Zoning Board of Adjustment, Richard Clough, current member, December 31, 2026.
And these nominations will be tabled until the next meeting, without objection. Thank you. I'd also say that we've got this interesting thing going on with some committees having council members as full members, some with ex officio members, and some of those ex officio members still need to be appointed. So those will be coming forward at the January 18th meeting, and we'll talk about this ex officio and full membership difference between the committees at some future date, just to sort that out. Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to correspondence.
Nope, B3, one more nomination.
Oh, to the zoning board.
Yes, the mayor is
Please, clerk.
nominating Edward Guyot to the Zoning Board of Adjustment. This would be for a term to expire December 31, 2026.
And without objection, table that to the next meeting. Okay. Correspondence, we have a letter of resignation.
Yes, we have a resignation from Justin Soma. He's currently has been a city member of the Library Board of Trustees, but was recently appointed as a Thayer trustee, and that means he needs to resign his city's membership. And so with that, a resignation from Justin Soma from the Library Board of Trustees.
Counselor Powers for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to accept the resignation with regret and appreciation for his service to the community.
Second.
Moved by Counselor Powers and seconded by Counselor Bosley. We're doing these by
This is a show.
show of hands. Would all those in favor please say aye?
Aye.
Any raise your hand and do both. All together now. That vote was unanimous. Thank you. Another communication.
And this is a communication from Christina Dretzen. She doesn't like roundabouts, and she wants the city council to stop building them.
Well, without objection, we'll accept this communication as informational. Thank you very much. And next,
And a communication from Councilor Madison. He has had a conflict in the meeting schedule for the Bicycle Pedestrian Path Advisory Committee and is resigning from that position. And he is also resigning as a regular member on the Partner City Committee in hopes that he will be appointed as the ex officio member at a later date.
and that nomination was brought forward.
Yes.
Counselor Powers for a motion, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to accept the counselor's resignation with regret and appreciation for his service up to this point, and he'll be back on that committee. Don't worry about it.
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously. There are no council reports at this meeting. Would like to offer the floor to the city manager for comments.
Thank you. Just a few comments for you this evening. The city's Human Rights Committee, with financial support from several community nonprofits and businesses, are hosting an event for Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January 15th at 6 p.m. at Heberton Hall. Father Greg Boyle is a best-selling author and the founder of Homeboy Industries, the nation's largest gang intervention program, and he will be the guest speaker. So everyone's invited to attend. Just a little bit more information about the capital planning workshop on Saturday, January 20th. The workshop will be located at the library. We are utilizing both Heberton and Cohen Hall, and we're going to use a format similar to the format we used 2 years ago and similar to the format we used for council goals, where we will have tables, and small tables in each of those rooms. We will begin at 8 o'clock, but that is just a coffee and muffin time to chat, ask questions between 8 and 8:30. And then we'll start with introductory comments at 8:30, and then groups will visit 4 small table discussions, 2 in Heberton and 2 in Cohen Hall. And we did that to make sure everyone could hear, because in the past we've been too close together and it's been difficult to hear. At 10:45, we will come back to Heberton for comments. We're going to wrap up and talk about next steps in the process and just the timeline. And so we're looking forward to that Saturday. We do this every other year, and we actually have a lot of changes in the CIP coming to you this year. And then just a few longevity milestones. HR has been kind enough to give me a rundown every month to share with you. And reaching 5 years is Carter Hennessy at the Parks and Recs and Facility Department. He's a seasonal staff member. Reaching 10 years is Mary Bruner, our community development, our senior planner. And then Heather Fitzsimon of the city clerk's office also reached 10 years. We have even more, though. So 25 years. Yeah, 25 years. Mitchell Smith from Public Works on December 8th. Jason Short in the Police Department on December 28th. And Todd Lawrence on December 28th. All reached 25 years. And then Michael Abbott from the Fire Department just reached 30 years on December 20th. And so that's great to celebrate those longevity awards.
Okay, thank you, Manager. Move to reports, boards, and commissions. We have one letter of correspondence.
We have a communication from Will Schaffman. He is a staff liaison to the Bicycle Pedestrian Path Advisory Committee, and he is referring to a resignation that was received via email from Dr. Chris Brem, who's been a long-term member of the Bicycle Pedestrian Path Committee. Dr. Brem has moved to Maine and must resign his position.
Okay, Council Powers for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to accept the resignation with regret and appreciation for his service.
Second.
Thank you. Moved by Councilor Powers, seconded by Councilor Bosley. All those in favor, please show your hands. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, we move on to resolutions, and we have a letter of appreciation.
We have a memorandum from our Assistant City Manager, Human Resources Director, along with Resolution R 2024-02, a resolution in appreciation of John L. Rogers upon his retirement.
Councilor Powers for a motion.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to adopt Resolution R 2024-02.
Second.
Councilor Powers, wish to speak to that motion?
Absolutely, sir. John Rogers has been with us for only 15 years, but in that 15 years, some of the busiest times occurred in the health office. And I know I'm gonna slip here back to the old terms, but Med probably will correct me, but John had a very important job when it came to the health code, the health systems of all the facilities in the city, restaurants, some of the assembly places. A very important role for us. And over the years, there have been a number of people that have been in that position who have had that same kind of responsibilities, but not with as many numbers as we've had today with the restaurants, more private schools that all have cafeterias. We never kind of think of that, but that's more work, more safety, more things to do for the community. But John has served us well, 15 years of service, and, you know, his citation that you all received is pretty emblematic of the kinds of things that he's done for the city, and we should really appreciate that work. It'll be hard to find somebody to follow that. But what it doesn't talk about is a lot of other things that he's done for the community while he's been an employee, while he's lived here. Pretty much lived all his life in the city of Keene, and that's an axionomen or something like that. Somebody who would be a little comical would say, not yet, as he lived his whole life here. But he moved here as a little boy and has been in Keene ever since. Graduated from Keene High School, married a local woman, joined the Marine Corps. But in the Marine Corps, he picked a good career field. He was in the flying part of it. So he spent a number of years in the Air Force, then came back home, worked in local construction, so he gave us some real good information and background as he began to work on the floor here. And then went back to school at Keene State College. And I think this part is one of the most important things that kind of sticks out to what the mayor had to say this evening about education and different things. He graduated from Keene State in the safety program. It's a fairly new program, very popular, highly recommended. So he's decided to move on and do other things. He does a lot of work in the community. He was part of the group that was very successful at presenting the wall dogs for our community, so you'll see that work every single day. And when the weather gets better, if you see this guy and a young lady, each riding Ducati motorcycles, that's them having a good time. Congratulations to them.
Thank you, Counselor Powers. You have the motion on the table to accept the resolution. Would all those in favor, please raise your hand. The motion is approved unanimously. Thank you very much. Now, we've concluded our regular meeting. I'd like to ask Counselor Powers for a motion to lead us into non-public session.
Thank you, Your Honor. Move to go into non-public session to discuss personnel matters under RSA 91-A:3, Roman 2, small a.
Second.
Okay, to keep the, okay, we're going to vote on this motion first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Counselor Bosley?
Yes.
Counselor Tobin?
Yes.
Counselor Remy?
Yes.
Counselor Filio?
Yes.
Counselor Williams?
Yes.
Counselor Haas?
Yes.
Counselor Jones?
Yes.
Counselor Madison?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Ormerod?
Yes.
Counselor Lake?
Yes.
Counselor Workman?
Yes.
Counselor Chadbourne?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Greenwald?
Motion carries unanimously to us. And we are now in a non-public session. Thank you to the audience. Best wishes on your grant